Hi, hi, how are you?
I can turn that there for you if that's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Oh, no.
What's up? What's up? Look at all these lovely nonprofits.
This is Megan giving thumbs up.
Kate, you want to give everybody should we give them like 30 seconds, see if everybody else joins in, and then we'll get going?
Yeah, I know we told people we'd be recording it, so we might not have everybody.
Cool.
Isn't that strange?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Amy. Hi, Christy. Hello, Seth, David,
I want to be able
Amanda,
to hear the meeting.
Tesla. What's up?
If I turn the volume down, I won't hear the meeting.
Beth is here.
No. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm going to mute everybody except Kate. And Kate, if you want to kick things off.
I'm so crazy.
Unmute here. Oop. Trying to unmute Kate. There you go.
It would ask for my permission if I wanted to be unmuted. I like that. Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kate. I'm your Give Day coordinator for Give Local York. We are 1 week and oh my gosh, at this point, Megan and I will be starting to set up everything at the Rev Stadium. That's how close we are to things. Thank you all for joining us today. We will try not to take up too much of your time to talk about the day of live stream process. We are a little lucky this year. It's less technical on your end and probably a little bit more on our end because we get to do in person again. So we're excited to see almost all of you in person at People's Bank Park. I'm going to pass it over to Chris, our live stream. What's your Giving Day guy, live stream guy? What do you want to be known as?
That works. The Giving Day guy. Good to be back. Good morning, everybody. Hello from Greenville, South Carolina. For those who don't know me, and I have to keep hitting the admit button here as people are joining in. But again, my name is Chris Strub. I'll be flying up to York once again next week to come see all of you lovely folks, most of you in person, and we'll talk as we go through the meeting here. Most of you, but not all of you in person next Friday. So show of hands for those who have your camera on, how many of you guys were part of the live stream stuff last year? I of course remember Tesla. Anybody else there? Amy? Yeah. So if you are really curious, if you want to see, kind of get a feel for what we're going to be doing, you can rewatch some of the broadcasts that we did last year from People's Bank Park. But as Kate mentioned, this year is going to be quite different because we are going to be able to have most of you guys there in person with us, which is going to be great. Can I get kind of a head nod? Everybody got the schedule from me yesterday, so everybody knows when your time slot is. I love that. Megan, we got to make a GIF out of that. Everybody sort of nodding their head as we go, right? So we're going to be live streaming similar to what we did last year, starting at 7 a.m. and we'll be broadcasting through. I'm going to ask if you can mute yourself. Hold on one second. I'm going to hear somebody else chatting. But we're going to have about 6 nonprofits in each hour, which means that your time slot is going to consist of about 5 to 6 minutes max. Okay. We do want you to arrive for the folks who are going to be appearing in person. We want you to arrive at the ballpark and be in the ballpark about 10 minutes before your scheduled stream. So if you're in the 11 a.m. stream, we want you to be in that ballpark with us by 10:50. And Kate can remind me the name of the suite that we're going to be in it's down the first base line.
Yes. So, and I can give a little bit of that because I know not everybody has been, they've done some construction, I guess, on the skybox level, but we're going to be down in the Solomon Monarch suite. So that's when you come up the stairs, you're going to go down to your right. And we will have an area set up for people to sit. And because all of us are going on the live stream prior to the game, You'll just be able to walk in through the skybox entrance to come up and follow signs to get to us.
Kate, do you have any information on parking?
Yes, so during the day, parking is available out front, where you would stop to grab your tickets at the Shipley Energy ticket office. But the closer we get to the game, the more that's going to be pulled out, because that becomes the handicap parking. So you are able to park in the Queen Street lot behind and then walk through and around to the skybox entrance.
Okay. So I think for the most part, everyone should be good with that front parking. You know, the last one of our streams here starts at 4 p.m. So we should be cleared out for the most part before the game really gets in motion. But like Kate mentioned, that parking information is important. We can put that in an email and get that to you in case you're needing to send that to other folks in your organization as well. We're going to ask, I know a lot of you guys have listed who's going to be representing your organization on the stream. If you could limit that representative party to 2 folks max would be great. We'll be setting up for 2 people. If you have a special circumstance, I remember last year, for example, we had Philip sort of set up like a fife and drum group. So if you have more folks that need to participate, just let me know, and I will make sure we figure out a plan to get you guys on. But we will only have 2 microphones available for your folks to chat with. So keep that in mind as you're coming in. So we will be streaming on Facebook and YouTube again, right, Megan? Yes. So we'll be streaming on Facebook and YouTube, Give Local York, as I mentioned in the email yesterday. I will be pre-scheduling those broadcasts because of the platform limitations. You can only pre-schedule a week in advance. And thankfully, Kate, we have so much time to go until Give Local York that we're not in that window yet. Meg. So I will be scheduling those broadcasts this weekend, and you'll be able to get that link from either Facebook or YouTube. So we do encourage you to share out that link, that specific post link as well to your audiences. You can say, hey, come watch, Rainbow Rose Center at 7 a.m. at this link, and people will be able to click right to that link at that time and be able to see the broadcast. Our host, once again, is going to be the wonderful, the one-of-a-kind Philip Given. So he'll be reprising his role for yet another year. And Philip is going to be asking you questions based mostly on what you indicated in that form that you filled out a couple weeks ago. So we asked specifically, hey, what is it that is most important for us to feature on this live stream opportunity for you? Philip's going to be prepared with that as a spreadsheet, and we'll be asking you questions specifically about that, as well as, probably where is the money that you're raising during Give Local York going to go? Are you chasing any specific prizes or anything like that? Do you have any events lined up later today? And also an important question will be, what does Give Local York mean to you? What do you think it means to the community? Stuff like that. You can rewatch any one of the interviews that Philip was doing last year to sort of get a feel for how it's probably going to go this year, except most of you guys will be in person, but not everybody. So you got the schedule. Sorry, I'm still admitting some folks who are just joining in. You got the schedule. Should have put Kate in charge of keeping the door open. If you are listed in blue, that means your nonprofit is scheduled to appear virtually. Okay. A number of you guys indicated that you were only able to join virtually for whatever reason. We didn't ask, but totally up to you. But we are going to feature one nonprofit virtually per stream, and then get in and sort of introduce all of the in-person nonprofits. You can see that Allie and Kayla are in the chat here, and I had encouraged them to do that. If you guys need to trade your time slot, you see a lot of other really friendly local faces here. I am happy to facilitate any changes that you guys need. I just ask that you guys reach out, because I don't want to, we really tried to schedule you based on your stated time preference. So we were able to slot everybody in based on when you said you wanted to go. So if you need to change, if you want to swap with another nonprofit, you're welcome to do that, but just make sure that that I know that. And you can email me directly if you have any changes, but try and get that done as quickly as possible. If you sent a video through the form, I have the videos. I just haven't looked at them or downloaded them yet. And it looks like a lot of you guys did, which is great. So I'll have those ready to play during your appearance. I know that Philip likes to ask a question first, then play the video, and then ask another question. So we'll take a look at those videos and make sure those get played as well. If you need to get me a video and you haven't sent it in yet, if you could please do that today or tomorrow would really be best for me. I'm not going to be able to sort of ingest videos as I'll be flying up there and getting everything in position next week. So, we can get those in for you today or tomorrow, but that's kind of as late as I'll be able to accept those. I do want to make sure we leave plenty of time for questions. We also have Megan's here. Probably should have introduced Megan. I'm sure you guys know Megan Given, of course. So Megan, if you have anything you want to jump in and add also, but most importantly, we want to make sure that we're leaving time for your questions. Oh, I know what I forgot to mention. Sorry, I just did 2 of these calls back to back. So if you are one of those virtual nonprofits, you're going to be joining through that same process that we used last year when everyone was virtual. So some of you may be familiar with it already, some not. It is a different link than last year. So if you have the link from last year's email, that's not going to work. You'll need the new link that I will send out. And I will send out that link on Wednesday. Okay. And the reason I'm going to send it out on Wednesday is because I am producing another giving day on Tuesday that is using the same link. So I can't have people joining in and practicing and stuff, but I promise you, it is a very, very simple process. We're into year 3 of this lovely pandemic. So it is very simple to just join in that room. And when you do, you will see myself, you'll see Philip, and you'll be good to go. So so I see a lot of conversations in the chat. I'm just monitoring that. Here's last year's live playlist. Wonderful. We will require everyone to watch all 9 hours of or whatever we did before, to be eligible to participate this year. No, that was a joke, Christy. That was a joke. I'm just kidding. Okay. Kate or Megan, if you guys want to unmute, if you have other things that I'm missing, you can let me know. And I definitely want to leave plenty of time here for your questions. That's the bigger purpose for today. What questions can the 3 of us answer for you guys while we're here?
We do have a question asking if it's a Zoom room for virtual.
So it is not a Zoom room, Brody. It is, we use a program called Switcher Studio. And if you watch the broadcast from last year, you'll see why we use Switcher Studio. I'm able to really produce a lot of different things in real time on the screen. One of the fun things we did last year, for example, was we had the woo button where, Bob could shout out woo without me having to drag him up over to a microphone every 20 minutes. We just kind of had that recording. So that's one example. This is what Switcher Studio looks like for me. It's got this big interface where I can put multiple people on the screen at the same time. I can play those pre-recorded videos. I can put people's names on the screen, play music and sound effects. So it is very similar to joining a Zoom room. And the number one thing that you'll need to remember when you're joining that room is you need to give your camera and your microphone permissions to be used by Switcher Studio. So the number one thing that goes wrong when we talk about troubleshooting is you probably didn't give the room permission to use your mic and use your camera. So you'll just need to refresh. I will say, and it always happens, there's 1 or 2 every year. If you just can't get it to work on the day and you're like, oh, it's 4 o'clock, like I have to be in there. Your backup plan can be, if you're trying to join on your phone and you can't get it to work, you can join on your computer, or vice versa. If you're sitting on your computer and you can't get it to work on your browser, just pick up your phone, set it on your desk in front of you, and you can join using the same link and we'll get the same idea. We will also send out, again, the video. I think a lot of you guys got a lot out of it last year, how to be a great virtual live guest, where I talk about and answer all the different questions like what should I wear and where should the camera be and all that sort of stuff. So if you have those sort of questions, I answer them in that video, and we got a lot of good feedback on that last year. It's all the same idea.
And I think I know the answer to this question, but I could be wrong. It isn't anything we have to download. It's just a link that we'll be able to click into, and we're good to go once we give the site permission.
It's just a web link.
Yeah.
So good question. If you want to download Switcher Studio and play around with it.
I mean, how many of us have clicked into something, realized it's Microsoft Teams? We didn't have Microsoft Teams, and then we're cursing at the screen like until we come live on with our camera. So
yep. That's why there's always a 3-minute delay at the start of every Microsoft Teams meeting. Going to download and then update your Microsoft Teams, and then you're good. No, Switcher Studio is just a web link. And if we have a minute when we get all the other questions answered, I'll actually show you what it looks like. It's very, very simple. And it worked very, very well last year. I think we had 40 something nonprofits. This year we had 50 nonprofits say they wanted to be part, which is just amazing. So, and honestly, Kate, I should have started with that too. Just thank you. Thank you to all of you guys. Number one, obviously, for participating in this shebang, in this big live stream thing that we're doing next week, but also for the great work that you do 365 days a year. I'm sure Megan and Kate would say the exact same thing. Like, we do what we do because of you guys. And certainly none of this stuff would be possible without you. So just thank you. And I can assure you that Philip will say that 7,000 times next Friday.
You can have a Philip thank you button too.
Yeah, oh, that'd be good.
Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I was gonna say, it might be helpful if I share sort of like our sketch for the entire day, because this is the first time that we are in person again and live streaming to the full extent. So some of you haven't been able to experience like Give Local York in all of its glory. So the day itself, of course, it starts at midnight, right? So it kicks off right at midnight on May 6th. We will, our team, we're set up at People's Bank Park the entire time. So we sort of camp out the night before. When it goes live at midnight, as you've seen, we have a few prizes right for that first gift that comes in. We have a prize for the organization that has the most donors during that first hour. So there's a lot of hoo-ha right at midnight. We will probably go live from our Facebook page. We won't do the full, we won't make Chris come in and do the full thing, but you'll just see us going nuts. Yes, you're welcome. You're supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah,
So you'll see us going nuts for a little bit there at midnight and really kicking the ball off running. You did see I added a few years ago my own match at 2 a.m. Selfishly, really, because that historically has been the slowest hour of the day. And so really sort of needing a reason to go on and live at 2 a.m. I match all gifts up to $1,000. So there's another kind of boost there that gets us through. And then really, normal people are sleeping and the rest of us are hanging in. Fox 43 is, again, one of our amazing media supporters, media sponsors. So they set up to go live really at like 3 or 4 in the morning. They'll start airing out those of you that secured interviews with them. I think we were lucky and got those for later in the afternoon. So no one's having to get up at 4 or 5 to talk to Fox. But our live stream will start kicking off at 7 a.m. So we're going live at the top of the hours with a few breaks here and there, basically between 7 and 4. First Friday is back this year, so that is exciting, and those festivities will kick off at 5 p.m. With setup happening. Before then, you'll get all of the information if you're going to be exhibiting downtown from Sarah at the Revs to let you know when the streets are closing, when it's time to set up. But First Friday is going to be happening. That's a wild scene. I definitely recommend checking it out. The last time we had a First Friday live was 2019. We had 10,000 people downtown. There were like horses and Elvis impersonators and fire trucks, and it's crazy. And to add to the craziness this year, the Revs also have a home game. So that's gonna start at 6:30 p.m. We get to take over a lot of the inter-inning fun. So we'll be telling everyone there about Give Local York and promoting. Kate and I get to shoot off the cannon at the start. So we'll be spreading the word during the Revolution game. And then the game will wrap up around 9:30ish. That's also about the time that First Friday festivities officially come to an end. So there will be a fireworks show at the stadium at game end, which is around 9:30, which will then lead directly into our Big Give finale party, which is a free party. It's open to everyone to come and attend. We'll have a concert that's taking place on the plaza outside the stadium. There will be beverages for sale and maybe snacks. I don't know if the snacks are still open, but beverages for sure. Live music, that will also be live streamed out. And really we call that, it's sort of like New Year's Eve, right? We're counting down to midnight, we count up the grand total. And then really in those last 5 minutes before midnight, we kind of steal back in to take over the stream, to thank everybody once again and to reveal that big announcement. And then at 12:01, we, collapse and we have survived. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm excited that we're back to full force. I'm excited for all of you to experience it. And just, check your emails and stay up to date with the information coming from Kate. And I would say the most important thing, and you'll start seeing it now in those emails, is that your best form of communication to anyone official or in charge on Give Day is going to be through that blue chat bubble on the site. We will have priority with Give Gab that day, so they'll be able to address any of the questions. Don't try to find me and Kate. Don't send carrier pigeons or text us because we've got a million things going on. So blue chat bubble is what I'm going to say is most important.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add on just a couple of quick things with that. The Revs apparently are having an email issue right now. They can see your emails, but they cannot respond to you. So if anybody is missing the details about their setup at the square or along Beaver Street or the stadium, feel free to reach out to me. I have those emails and I can forward them to you. I was like, who in the tech department thought their first week of home games and Give Local was a great time to mess with things, but we're going to work around it. Also, if you have not already put your events on Facebook or in York 365, please do so as soon as possible. I am working daily with the news media outlets to talk about where they're going to go and who they're going to go visit. And if you don't tell me what you're doing, then I will not send them to you, and then you will be sad. So please, please, please fill those out. If you are on Facebook, please do not just make an event that says Give Local York. Please try to make it very specific about what you're doing and try to add us as a host so that it appears on our calendar as well. It is very difficult for me to go in searching Give Local and adding all these things to our calendar so that people know what you guys are up to. And again, please, please, please read those emails. Every question that you guys probably want to ask. Now, I'm not saying almost, like, I'm sure there's some questions, but we have answered a lot of them, especially with like offline gifts, what to do during the day if somebody accidentally didn't do it with a peer-to-peer link. All of those questions are answered in these last couple of emails that have been coming through because we have anticipated your every need, or at least we're trying to. So please read those things. Plus, it makes me sad when I get an alert from MailChimp that says 65% of people didn't even open our email. So don't make us sad. Open our email.
We don't want sad Kate and sad Megan. That's for sure. Yeah, so we have a few more minutes here. Again, the biggest thing that we can use these 5 minutes for is to answer any questions that you have. So don't be shy if you want to put it in the chat or unmute yourself. In the meantime, I will say it is just so impressive what Give Local York has become. I'm blessed to work with a lot of different giving days throughout the year. And, I talk about some of the stuff that I'm doing with the live stream, and Megan's just like, yeah, and here's the other 9 amazing things that we're doing throughout the day with the concert and all these things, the game coordination to host at a beautiful facility like People's Bank Park. It's certainly one of the most impressive giving days in the country. And I don't mean that in terms of for smaller communities. I mean, in terms of every giving day out there. What you guys are doing in York is some of the best in class I've ever seen. And I know the folks at Give Gab agree with that also. So it's very, very impressive what you guys are able to do. And like Kate is saying, a lot of that has to do with you guys as well, putting on your own events. We work really hard to, put this stuff together at the ballpark, but what Give Local York really succeeds because of what you guys are doing outside of our live stream stuff too. So keep up the good work on that. And if there's anything that we can do to support that, just let me know also. As you guys probably saw, I'm a cheapo with the Zoom. So this meeting is going to end on time because I've never bought Pro Zoom. So we have a couple more minutes. Kayla says we signed up late last year, so I'm super excited for this year. Kayla, it's awesome. It's so much fun.
And he hasn't even seen it, like Megan said, in all of its glory.
No.
He got involved right before the pandemic. So.
I remember my initial conversations with Megan in like January 2020. And we were like, yeah, we're going to go to this party and go here. And then it was like, let's plug in all the computers and set up.
The party was at my house that year. That was literally everything was being done from my home. So from my home to the streets of downtown York, how far we've come.
There's so much great energy. You'll see that from hopefully through Philip's eyes as well on the live stream. Like we're going to try and really get the most out of the day through these videos, through the concert, of course, which is going to be awesome. Like make plans to either be at that concert or watch it. It's been really cool to see the last couple of years, and those guys do a fantastic job. And then, of course, if you're still up watching those final numbers, like Megan mentioned, you'll have a chance to tune in and probably see the four of us and Matt probably, so the five of us gallivanting around the ballpark somewhere. Are there any other questions that we can answer before we sign things off?
We have those couple of scheduling things, and I'm happy just to send a quick email, Chris, and so that we don't have to try to go back and forth in the chat here.
Okay.
So we'll update those of you who have offered to switch and who would like to switch. Again, if anybody else runs into an issue, please let us know sooner rather than later so it doesn't get missed.
Yeah, and just a reminder, those of you who are hoping to send in a video late, just send it straight to me. You don't need to send it to Kate and Megan. Like I got it under control. Just put it in my email and get it to me. Hopefully by COB tomorrow would be really great. Any parting words, Meg?
Read your emails, blue chat bubble.
Blue chat bubble.
I've been treating this, honestly, I've been treating it like I'm training a little bit. So like, trying to work up on sleeping, taking some vitamins, making sure that you're hydrated. It's a long day. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, we're thrilled, and it's going to be great. Y'all are great. Thank you.
Awesome.
I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Go Revs. I can't wait to see my first Revs game. That's going to be super cool. I'm going to gorge on pretzels when I get up there too, I'm sure. And Sheets. There's no Sheets in South Carolina. So we'll stop at Sheets first. I know everybody's shaking their head at me. I'm a New Yorker at heart. So
there's a big Sheets versus Rudders thing here. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit on the live thing. And then if they're lucky people that are able to get to a Wawa, so then that throws some things into the mix. So there's a lot happening.
Wawa folks, I'm sorry. I won't bring my Sheets bias to the live stream, I promise. So thank you guys. Again, this meeting will be recorded. So if you need to share it with a colleague or a coworker or someone else who's going to be on the stream, I'll have that link to you guys in the next 24 to 36 hours. Very last thing, if you do have questions specific to the live stream, just email me directly. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Get some sleep.
We'll see you next week. Thank you.
I like how we all wave now. It's like a thing we do.
We've got it down pat now. All right, let's stop recording.